Skydiving is one of the major events that involve the concept of physics that we have learned in class. Such concepts include acceleration, velocity, displacement, kinematic equations, free fall, gravity, velocity versus time graph, position versus time graph, and acceleration versus time graphs, and etc. Before we start, here are some misconceptions that are very common in the physics world. Objects at rest cannot be accelerating. They will always stay at rest. Acceleration and velocity must be in the same direction. Same position also means the same speed. Speed is the rate that someone or something is able to move. It is measured in distance over time. So let's say a car is traveling at 50 meters and it traveled that distance in 5 seconds. His speed would be 10 meters per second since it is distance over time. Velocity is the speed of an object in a given direction. So let's say a track runner was running 8 meters per second. In this case, since it's velocity, he would be running 8 meters per second south, north, or east, or west. Acceleration is an increase in the rate or speed of an object. Free fall is the downward movement under the force of gravity only. Gravity works at negative 9.8 meters per second square on every human being and object in this world. Displacement is the measurement of how far you have changed from your starting position and ending position. Since we're dealing with vertical displacement, moving up would be in the positive y direction and moving downwards would be in the negative y direction. Skydiving is one of the experiences that will define all of these concepts in physics. As a skydiver falls, he or she encounters the force of air resistance. During the fall, he or she accelerates downwards, gaining speed with each second. This speed is accompanied by the increase of air resistance, which encounters the force of gravity. As the diver falls faster and faster, the amount of air velocity increases until it reaches the magnitude of the force of gravity. Once the force of the air resistance is large enough as the force of gravity, a balance of forces is attained and the diver can no longer accelerate. While the diver is falling, there's always a constant change in speed. Gravity is always acting upon the diver at negative 9.8 meters per second squared. The time it takes for the diver to jump to the plane onto the ground is counted as delta t in time. The height of the drop counts as delta y since the fact that gravity is included with the equation. It is also counted as delta y since we are dealing with vertical displacement, which also means, if you didn't remember, that moving up is positive displacement and moving downwards is negative displacement.